event here with Eric Schaefer, coach of Chaotic Robotics, team number 4539 out of Frazee. And Eric, still early here in the season. How are things going so far this year?
Uh, it's getting later and later by the day.
Elaborate a little bit. What's been kind of the, I guess, things that you feel have gone well and things maybe your team has struggled with this year?
We the best part about and the worst part about high school sports is you always have new students that you need to train, and we started with some pretty green builders this year, and we built a heck of a machine. And then we went to a week zero event and went, nope, that's not going to work for us. So we redesigned and rebuilt. So we are still in the testing phase of that rebuild. So
How nice is it for a team to have something like week zero where it's like it's a competitive state, but it's not like too competitive where teams are, trying to go at it and qualifying, but be able to kind of, test things out and do things like that.
that's the best part about a week zero event. You get to try all the things that you hope work, and it's a mixed blessing because it's either really good or really bad. And the students came back and said, nope, we gotta change some stuff. So we went to work and we rebuilt in a week, and we got it together the night before Nevis Team 3102 out of Nevis, Minnesota. They do a .5 event
Hmm.
where after week zero we set the field up in their gym, and we just get to go and get to kind of go out on the field with your robots and play around with them and try to do all your testing and all of that stuff. And I think we almost get more out of that .5 event than we do out of a week zero event. Um, you get to learn a lot about after week zero. You go back and change a few things. You get to go and really take some time and work on them. So
And you kind of mentioned you have some, I would say, like newbies here this year, and bringing in a lot of new students, or is it how would you how many are you bringing in?
um, we're one of the few teams that allow seventh graders in.
Hmm.
So I brought in I brought in three seventh graders at the beginning of the year, and then one said, "Nah, I'm just not sure this is for me yet. I'll be back. Just focus on some studies and get some of those kinds of things done because those are way more important than any robot we got building going on." Um, I'm probably in that 15 to 18 kids range. Uh, yeah, we're about the same as we were last year. I lost two seniors last year, and I gained two seventh graders and an eighth grader. So I think I'm one up from what I was last year.
Okay. And for you guys, do you guys have any like elementary robot leagues at your school or
We
no?
we don't. That's why we allow the seventh graders to come and participate, and it's good for them to get their hands on some stuff. My two seventh graders this year actually built their very own robot to play this year's game. They built the kit bot that comes with the kit of parts. And after they got done building it, they're like, well, can we make it do this? Sure can. Figure it out. And they figured that out. And then they figured out how to make it climb and everything else. So they, the future's looking bright for those kids and the team.
I know off mic, we mentioned an event that's going to be going through Saturday when this will air. You're at the Duluth Regional, and how big is that event? Because I've heard like two, because it's basically, if I remember correctly, two invitationals going on pretty much next to each other.
Yep. So it's two different events. It's two different events going on at the same time. There's two different regionals, Lake Superior and Northern Lights. They're 60 team regionals. So there's 120 teams in Duluth that are playing. I it's a 4 hour drive for me to go there, 4.5 hour drive, but we're gonna go and watch. I don't have the whole team going. We're taking a family trip, if you would say. I
Mhm.
have a couple other of the students, their parents are going to go over and watch, and I'm going to go watch, and my whole family's going to go watch. So for me, it's a family affair. And we're going to go. There's some really good robots that are going to be there that are, world class robots, former world champions, that are going to be in Duluth to come and play. And it's always fun to go and see what those types of teams have going on. So
Plus, as a person who graduated across the river from Duluth, I mean, Twin Ports can't do any better than that, pretty much in terms of visiting.
yeah, yep. No, it's a good time. Duluth is always a good time.
And in terms of kind of going back to your team at Chaotic here this year, in terms of like how a team is built, how many different, I would say, like not positions but roles do you kind of does a team typically have? How many, and from building to, I know you guys even have positions that are not even affiliated with the robot. It's in terms of managing and different things like that.
So there's a whole business side of things. I've had two daughters go through the program all the way, and neither one of them ever touched a robot for the from seventh through 12th grade. They never once touched a robot. There's a business side. It costs a lot of money to do this. So you got to have people that reach out to sponsors, and you have to have people that, do all the background functions. You see a lot of teams doing TikToks and Instagram posts and all of those types of things. So you need people to do those things, and you can't rely on your build team to take time out of building and driving a robot to do them. So we have four people that work on the robot pretty much all the time, and we have 15 people on the team. So I mean, there's 11 people not making building robots.
And you mentioned that you had two kids go up through the program. And in terms of just how you saw robotics, maybe not shape your kids, but in terms of when your kids first started out, how much did they grow throughout those years that you saw as just as a parent?
We we as mentors of a team, we call it breaking them. We typically get a lot of really shy kids that don't like to speak in front of people or do any of those types of things. And by the time they leave the program, they're giving speeches in front of judges. I've got one daughter, she's going to graduate from college with her master's this year to be a school counselor. I've got another one in college right now that is going to be an elementary teacher. So without FIRST and without this program, they would have never had that opportunity. Not that they would have never, but they never would have seized the opportunity, I should say, to get up in front of people and talk with the director of the Board of Education for the United States was at one of our events once. And she come by our pit with her and her Secret Service agents. I mean, it was so cool to see, and my oldest daughter sat there and talked with her for pretty close to 40 minutes
Hmm.
just about what we have going on and small town America stuff. So
And from when you first got involved with coaching robotics or being a mentor and things like that, how much has this just the sport grown over those years in terms of just size and kids going out for it?
we've stayed pretty consistent for students wise. This will be my this will be my ninth season. And there's an ebb and flow of kids. I mean, we've had seasons where we've had 22 and we've had seasons where we've had 12. Um, but we're always right around in that area, about where we are right now in that 15 range. So it's we're we're in a good spot. We have a lot of good kids coming. We have a lot of kids that they want to be here, and I equate it to when you're done with basketball or wrestling practice at the end of the night, the students can't wait to go home. They can't wait to shower and go home. I'm pushing them out the door because I have to go to work in a few hours. Um, I'm not your typical northern robotics coach or mentor. I don't work at the school. I'm not a teacher at the school. I work in industry. So for me, I get to use the skills that I've learned and teach these kids the skills that I've learned out in the workplace. So, and that's what we do. We build better students. We don't build robots. We build better students in this program. And I will say that until the day that I stop doing this. So, and the day we do stop doing that is the day I'm not doing this no more. So,
What you said there kind of reminds me when we talked with the first director for the region earlier this year. She says, "We build kids by having them build robots," is kind of how she described it.
yeah, I think the saying is we build better students one robot at a time.
Mhm.
I think is kind of the phrase that we use. So, no, and Nicole, she's a good person to have in charge. She does a very good job at what she does. So, thankful to have all of those people in place.
And in terms of chaotic, what do you guys have coming up here over the next couple of months event-wise? What does your guys' docket look like?
Well, we'll be in Grand Forks week 3. So that's March 12th through the 15th. Hoping to see you guys there.
We'll be
And
there.
then we are actually going to Iowa's regional, which is the end of March, the last week of March, first week of April. So a week 3 and a week 5 event. We don't get a lot of time in between, but we get enough time to come back and recharge our batteries, our human batteries, and take off again. So it's we're looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, Erica, before we get going here today, did you have anything else you wanted to say either about robotics, chaotic, or just any shout outs, anything like that?
Um, Shout out to the Northern Minnesota Robotics Conference, to all the teams there for all the help. That if you need something, they're there in a flash to help you out. Shout out to all the parents that get their kids to events or to get them to practice or pick them up from practice or any of those kinds of things. And shout out to you guys for putting the word of this out there because, man, this is a program that you won't see anywhere else. You won't see anything like this anywhere else. So if you're watching this and you have no idea what it's about, go find it. Go to Grand Forks. If you see robotics come to your town or anywhere near it, go check it out. It is so worth it.
Awesome. Well, again, Eric, thanks for the time here today, and good luck throughout the rest of the season for you guys.
All right. Thank you.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
I'm PJ Rund, and I live in Mission Court in Ada, Minnesota. Here, there are a lot of people like it here. Well, what could be better?
I'm Molly, and I have lived here a little over 3 years now. I like the fact that I don't have stairs or elevators, and there's always some activities around here.
You can't help but like it here. That's what I say.
Gordon Construction of Mahnomen is a Native American-owned business proudly operating on the White Earth Indian Reservation since 1983. As a bonded general contractor, Gordon Construction provides years of experience in large, detailed, and within-budget projects. Gordon Construction is committed to the safety of its employees and the environment of its work sites. To learn more about Gordon Construction of Mahnomen, visit gcmahnomen.com or call 218-935-2191.
So, first of all, I want to thank you guys for joining me here. Do you think you could introduce yourselves real quick? Your name, your grade, as well as what is your role on the robotics team?
I'm Maya Prell, and I'm 11th grade, and I just help out.
I am Carter Proel. I'm in ninth grade, and I usually drive the robot, and I'm quite good at it.
I am Thor Richardson. I am in eighth grade, and I'm not sure what I do yet.
I'm Ethan Wimmer. I am a senior. I am the team captain and coder and builder and literally everything, I guess.
I'm Logan Gallus. I'm in 10th grade and I help out with building the robot.
I'm Caleb Belfi. I'm in eighth grade, and I'm on the build team.
I'm Marshall Hollerman. I'm in eighth grade, and I just kind of help out wherever's needed.
Okay. So not really any like defined roles, just you help out wherever it needs to be helped out with the robot. Aside from our robot driver, of course. And you said you're pretty good at it too. So I'm guessing are you are you usually the one who's driving the robot in the past seasons that you've been on the team?
Usually, like a little bit last year, I kind of did good on that.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, we're just here to talk about the robotics season, and I guess first of all, I was wondering what kind of progress have you guys had on the robot so far?
We've had actually pretty good progress after week 0. During week 0, we did not have our elevator parts. They got delayed, so we didn't have an elevator yet. But currently, right now, we have almost everything completely finished. We just got a few parts left to put on the elevator. We're finishing up some final designs after a little mishap that happened at week 0. That was a little painful, but we get through it.
Do you mind me asking what was that incident at week 0?
At week 0, we were storing algae into the processor, and we made our intake out of acrylic, 1/4 inch acrylic. We hit the processor a little too hard and it cracked, and after we turned the robot around, it completely just snapped off the elevator and just laid right on the ground.
Wow, that sounds messy.
Yeah, it was a little messy, but glad it happened then and not in Grand Forks or St. Cloud or any of them, so it's pretty good. We got some new signs and reinforcements that should allow it to not happen again, so we're gonna run through it and hopefully it works.
Alright. Well, fingers crossed about that, of course. And so what are some of the primary functions or tasks that you're hoping the robot will be able to perform?
Our primary tasks that we want to perform will be to score coral from the trough to all the way up to L4. We hope to run multiple autonomous sections or whatever you want to call them in order to score coral on L4. We have a really good algae arm that has been very effective and was effective at week 0. We hope to keep on doing that and score algae into the processor.
Okay. And I'm curious, so is there anyone on the team who this is their first time on the team? Okay. So all right, yeah, so we got a couple. So for our two much more fresh members of the team, what's probably been the biggest lesson that you've been learning while helping with building a robot?
I don't know how to use the shop. That's about it. 'Cause I haven't really been at the shop of the school before.
Like, what's one of your biggest things that you've learned so far, like in robotics? Like anything about the robot, how we run it?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess how first robotic robot would be made, at least how we made it. That's about it. As far as like electronic stuff go.
And so then excuse me. And so you guys mentioned like for a lot of the things that you have learned, what's probably been I'm guessing that the incident in week 0 was probably one of the bigger challenges you guys have faced, but what's been some of the other big learning curves that you guys had to get around?
So including that, one of our other learning curves is we started having a lot more advanced autonomous periods last year, and we're going into that this year with quite a bit more knowledge. But there's still kinks and tweaks and that. Also with our coral intake during auto and teleop, we are working on finding a solution to make sure our coral stops at a specific point inside the intake as so it does not hit the elevator when we raise the elevator, or else that's gonna cause problems. One of our ideas for that right now is putting a sensor or LiDAR sensor on the front or back of our intake to stop it. So that's gonna be one of our bigger issues if we don't get that done in time. We are also hoping on getting a Limelight 4 up and running before week 3, which we have not done a lot of coding on Limelight before, so that's gonna be a little bit tough, but we'll get through it. And hopefully that makes us allow us to have an auto aim and auto drive the distance command within the robot so that we can just press a button and the robot will run right up to a coral and put it right in.
Okay. So speaking of the programming side of things, who are usually the main folks with their hands in the programming?
I right now am the only main programmer.
Yeah.
Hopefully
So
this year I'll someone
Yeah.
to dabble into it.
Maybe me, I don't know.
I got my to learn eventually.
I see you shaking your head over there, wanting to just stick to just the building side of things.
Yeah, pretty much. I've never been really good with computers.
Yeah. But I'm guessing very handy when it comes to the building side of things. Is that also kind of a hobby of yours?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So when you guys are working on the robot, how do you usually try and divide up the work? Is it just everyone's working on the same thing all together? Do you try and divide it to groups? So how do you usually try and tackle the process of working on the robot?
Okay, so for right now, before week 3, which we're going Great Northern, so they have this rail car compensation. So we have a couple of kids that have not been as on the robot. They're working on the rail car right now. We divide our other groups into the building for the intake system and then building on the elevator system, while the last few of us work on online stuff like coding and autos and all that. It keeps
Okay.
everybody busy without having too many people stand around and just watch.
So what is the robot made out of? What kind of material are you guys using for it?
This year, our primary material is 1/8" 2x1 as our frame. We also custom make our own designs and frames and supports through a Can Master machine, so CNC milling machine out of aluminum. So we have that. We have multiple brackets that we cut on a plasma table. We have Swerve Drive, which is our primary drivetrain this year. We went from an upgraded from MK4Is to MK4Ns this year. So we have about an 8-foot increase in speed compared to last year. Other materials would include, we have some steel on there, some plexiglass, some acrylic, some polycarbonate, just a variety of materials that hopefully should be strong enough to withstand being hit.
And so how hands-on then is your mentor, Jason Lee? How much is it where he's helping you guys along the way, and how much of it is he's letting you guys kind of do your thing?
During the start of it, it is really just us. Mr. Lee kind of just observes and makes sure we're doing everything. But other than that, most of us are hands-on, and there are only a few things that he will help with. For say, we have a couple students that aren't in the building right now, and we really need somebody to help us. Say we're like trying to hold the elevator up while we're trying to drill holes or something. We have him help hold the elevator for us, but the rest of us students mostly do all the work on there. We want to make sure that the students know how to do the work so that when the future comes and then I'm gone, or say they're seniors or whatever, they need to know how to do it rather than having the mentor do all the work.
Okay. And so what would you guys say is probably the biggest team goal? And then I was wondering if we could go down the line and see if what everyone's personal goals is for robotics.
How you want to start with that?
I'd have to think about it for a little bit.
I mean, I can start.
Go, Kelvin.
My personal goal is pretty much just to have fun and to learn from my own mistakes and just learn how stuff like this works because there's a lot of careers that involve robotics.
Would you say you have learned something new so far?
Yeah. Um,
Like?
um, a lot of stuff with wiring.
Okay. All right. Who's next?
Oh, me. My personal goal is to learn how to use a lot of the machines better, like the hand grinder and stuff.
Was this like a first time experience then using some of the electrical tools?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can. My goal is to be more involved in the near future, perhaps.
My personal goal is to learn a lot more wiring than I should have already.
Okay. Has a lot of your focus been on being able to pilot the robot?
Yeah. Yeah, it has been for a while.
Okay.
My personal goal is to try to get more into the driving side and help out more with the building.
All right. Well, you got a good teacher on your team to help you teach you how to drive it.
You got nothing? Okay, I'll go then. My personal goals, I have multiple because obviously it's my senior year, just want to get everything done. This year, major goal is to teach all the younger kids main importance of the robot so they can have a successful team next year. Without them knowing what they're gonna do, they're really gonna need to know what they need to do. Another goal this year was to have a really advanced robot, probably our most advanced robot in comparison to all the other years that we've ever had it. So that's obviously like the limelight, having a bunch of very complex autos and having square drive and all that. That's really complicated, but it's really rewarding to see that pay off when you're actually at competition. Also, another goal of mine, this robotics has been a big influence in my future plans. I'm going to St. John's University to major in computer science, and without robotics, that really would not have been even a possibility before. And it just really encouraged me and helps me look forward to the future generations and career outlooks. Also, good goal that we actually accomplished this year was having good wiring on the robot. Last year was a rat's nest. Let's put it that way. And this year we got wiring going up side panels, so it's all nice and neat and we know where everything's going. It really helps to know where your stuff is.
I can tell you got a lot of passion for this, and like I said, as this is your senior season, any words of advice you'd like to share for your teammates or for anyone who ends up seeing this who might also be interested in joining robotics?
No matter through the hardships, no matter the troubles, no matter the failures, no matter the success, have fun, enjoy what you do, because one day you're not going to be able to do it anymore. Use what you know to do what you can do best and use it as a positive way to outlook your future.
I like that, man. Well, I want to wish you guys the very best of luck on the season, and thank you for joining me here today.
Looking for a bank that truly cares about your financial well-being? That would be the First National Bank of McIntosh. Their experienced staff is dedicated to providing exceptional customer service and helping you find the right financial solutions for your needs. From personal to business banking services, they have everything you need to take control of your money. Plus, their commitment to the local community means that your money stays where it matters, right here in McIntosh. Trust First National Bank of McIntosh, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
In today's competitive market, your company needs a manufacturing partner that can deliver high-quality products, on-time delivery, and unmatched expertise. Team Industries of Bagley has been a leading provider of precision machining and manufacturing services for over 50 years. Whether you need custom-made parts, precision engineering, or complete assembly services, Team Industries of Bagley can help you take your manufacturing to the next level. Visit their website today to learn more about their capabilities or give them a call to schedule a consultation. At Winnie School, we're shaping the leaders of tomorrow with dedicated teachers, a strong sense of community, and opportunities to excel in academics, arts, and athletics. We strive to give every student a chance to succeed. From kindergarten through high school, we offer a supportive environment where students can grow, learn, and discover their full potential. Together, we're building a brighter future. Join the Winnie Mac family, where education and community go hand in hand at the Winnie Mac School.
Welcome back to the YLE Robotics Show. We're talking with Team 3297, the Perm Full Metal Jackets. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm liking the warmer weather out now. It's
Yeah, very nice.
So were you guys at the week 0 at Ashby? I can't remember.
Yes.
Yes, you okay. All right. Yeah, I was there too. And we went around and got a lot of interviews with a lot of the teams there. And so how did that go for you guys?
It went really well. We got to see what exactly wasn't and was working for us, but mostly there was more positive than there was negatives for us at week 0, which was really good.
Just really being able to like critique and perfect little things that we had on our robot was really nice.
Practice with the actual field and
Yeah.
see how the game works was really helpful before our competitions.
So how long have each of you guys been in robotics now?
We've all been in it for 3 years.
Yeah. I'm Elsa, by the way.
I'm Jaden.
Addie.
So do you guys have specific roles you do on your team?
Mm-hmm. Sure. So Jaden and I kind of do a lot of similar stuff with the Impact Award and just outreach, business, fundraising, media, that whole kind of category.
Yeah. So like I kind of lead our business stuff, and then I'm also our team media at events, and then do a lot of the scouting stuff as well. So
yeah.
I'm the head electrician, and then I am the co-driver this year for our team.
All right. So how many hours do you think you guys spend per week working on the robot, and just how many hours after school? I thought it wasn't it like your what is it, your Andy Paulson, I think in the email he sent me, he said that you guys are after school, it was at 3:15 to 6 or something, or 3:15 to 8 every night, and
Yeah.
or Monday, Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
So how many guys, go ahead.
Sorry. It's like 13 total hours a week for just like regular practice, but we do have people come in on Saturdays sometimes, or people will come in on Wednesdays, or stay till like 9 even.
So like Mondays are 3:30 to 6, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays are 3:30 to around like 8:30. It kind of depends on the day, but yeah. And like again, kids come in a lot, so it varies on the week.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel going into competition?
I think good.
Yeah, good.
There's still some things we need to like figure out,
but I think we're gonna. It's nothing big. It's all little things that like will take maybe a day or two to figure out. But otherwise, robot wise, we're going in pretty confident.
Yeah, we have a pretty consistent robot with really good coders. So
yeah.
You guys are competing in Grand Forks?
Yes.
Okay. So what can we expect from the from Full Metal Jackets at Grand Forks this year?
Oh gosh.
You want to take this one?
Right now for autonomous, we can only do one, but we plan on doing at least 3 in autonomous, all on the level 4 on the reef. It all will kind of depend on what our alliance looks like, but we'll mainly focus on coral. L4 and 3, we won't really touch two in one, but say our alliance is really good, we'll work on the algae. So we'll take them off the reef and go throw them up in the barge because we can do that. And then maybe play a little defense here and there if it's needed.
So we really try to just like work with whoever we're with because
we can do pretty much all of it.
Yeah, we can
There's
do pretty
not
much anything.
something we can't do.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite thing about the competition?
I I really like just the atmosphere and the people. It's really fun, especially when throughout the season you're putting in all this work and effort and just getting to see that play out and have a good time. And it's like even if you're doing well, if you're not doing well, you're still having fun and making connections with other people and other teams.
I really like the strategy part of it. It's just, I don't know. I think it's fun to play around with strategy. And then we have our late night meetings at the hotels. I think those are really fun to sit in on, have some input.
The hotel rooms are definitely a fun part. We all get together and play on switches and stuff, but like I really like as a driver being able to be on the field and see all the hard work this team has poured into this robot work efficiently, especially with other teams being able to see, wow, we really did this well and they worked really well with us too. And it's just a lot of fun to see what everybody can put forth in the competitions.
Is there any favorite team that you guys like to watch at the competition?
So this was back at a different week 0. I don't know if you saw CIS. They had their robot had climbed on the reef. So I'm just excited to see like if that had like our robot did that also. So I'm excited just to see if any robots or if they do that again or any other robots do that again.
Yes, I'm interested to see how well Toolcats hold up this year because I think they got different drivers and just to see what they did because they were so good last year. I'm interested to see if they'll hold up that same standard as they did last year.
Do you guys feel more confident this year as compared to last year going into competition?
I think so, yeah, because last year going into competition, we were just kind of like, okay, we have a pretty average robot, and then we ended up doing pretty well for what we had. So I think we're a lot more confident this year going into it because we took those skills from last year and just really applied them this year and made it really solid.
Especially code-wise.
Yeah, especially code.
They learned so much over the summer that our robot is heavily based on code this year rather than mechanics. And so them being able to do that, well, yeah, definitely. So it'll be fun.
And I think we have a really good team this year. Like most people have had years of experience, and those who haven't, they're learning a lot and they're really getting to put their own spin on things. So
so that wasn't really there when we started.
Yeah.
Have you guys had to face any hurdles to jump through this season so far?
Yeah, the barge was definitely a hurdle that was a little tricky to figure out, and along with the climb, like it seems simple in concept, but like it took us a little bit with the way our robots designed specifically, figuring out how to do that climb was a little bit of a jump, but I think we got it.
And two of our mentors from last year, they had scheduling conflicts for this year, so they were not able to return, which kind of impacted our team. But I think we've managed to keep afloat.
Yeah.
What got you guys interested in robotics when you first started?
Paulson. Paulson showed it in my STEM class once, and I was like, that is something I want to do. That would be something cool. But yeah, Paulson was my reason to join.
I think ours was kind of the same. We had a friend tell us like, hey, you should come to our meeting just to check it out. And we kind of just like kept showing up and then realizing it was actually like really cool.
Yeah, and I had a brother who had done it, and I got to go to one of his competitions, and I was like, whoa, this is so much cooler than I thought it was. There's so much more happening, and yeah, and then that friend kind of helped.
Are there any goals that you guys have coming out of this season? Like goals you want to reach going into competition and just going forward and
So we had a really big goal this year of presenting Impact, which we've never done before. So we're both on the Impact team. We're presenting it this year. So that was a big goal and we accomplished it.
Yeah.
We're ready.
Obviously, making it to Worlds would be amazing. I think with the way our robot and stuff this year is, we'll have a good chance of going. But mainly if we make it to like our state, doing better at state, because we've gotten to state, but we've lacked at state, so that's a huge thing, trying to make it further up the ladder in state.
Are there any memories from past competitions you guys want to share today? I like any memories that stick out.
Um,
One of my favorite memories is probably once we got to finals in Duluth and we sat all together within our alliance and we cheered really loudly as a huge group, and that was really fun to be able to get together with our other alliance partners and be a loud crowd for our finals. I think that was really fun.
Yeah, I really love just like the adrenaline that comes with being in finals.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite part. It's just like that anticipation.
Yeah, like you'll be standing the whole time, but you don't even realize it because and you're just cheering and it's like your voice is gone by the end of the day, but it was just in the moment, you're just so caught up with everything.
We like to say that if you have your voice by the end of a robotics competition, you weren't quite doing it right.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anybody you want to do a special shout out to for the YLE Robotics Show this week?
Our mentors. A huge thanks to Paulson for being able to, even though we lost to our mentors, you stepped up and was able to take all those responsibilities they did and be able to do it even with your family and like being able to just be here.
Yeah.
Same with Ryan. He'll come here for hours and won't leave till like 10, and he's our main coder coach, and he is the reason why our robot is the way it is this year, because he was put in that extra effort of being here and actually doing code for us.
Yeah. And honestly, just like all the families that bring in food and just support us, because it's a lot of time to be in robotics. I'm really glad that they let their kids do that.
We got a boosters club started. Sorry, I interrupted you. Like this is our first year that some parents were like stepped up and created a boosters club, which has really helped us out, especially fundraising wise when we're trying to do a bunch of other things, and then they're able to help with the finance of it all. So and again, all parents
who contributed to that booster club and just meals and everything.
Yeah.
Helps keep us going.
Do you feel you guys have had a better turnout from past years as far as kids in your school joining robotics and joining the team? And have you guys seen an increase or a decrease? Or
I think this is the year we've had the most new recruits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just been like really steady with getting new kids that want to do it and are passionate about it. And I think that's a good way.
I did hear some teachers last year would play our matches like while we were down in Duluth. And I think it was it was exciting to hear like the kids that were excited for us and cheering for us like at our school who didn't really know what robotics was. And then a few of them showed up this season to see more of how they could help.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, I wish you guys the best of luck this season in the competition. And it is Team 3297 Perm Full Metal Jackets. We'll be back with more of the YLE Robotics Show right after this.